The farewell sermon. This sermon the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam delivered on the 9th of Dhul Hijjah 10 AH 632 CE in the Urana valley of Mount Arafat in Makkah at the end of his first and last pilgrimage to Makkah.
All right, stop. First of all, if we talk about sermon, so sermon mean any religious address. Say and note down the meaning side by side if wherever you feel meaning are difficult. When he delivered this farewell sermon on 9th day of Dhul Hijjah and when in 10th Hijrah, right after Hijrah, and 632 CE. CE is considered common era, right? If the Islamic point of view we talk about, so it is called Hijrah, after Hijrah. And if we talk about non-Islamic point of view, CE means common era, 632, right? In the Urana valley of Mount Arafat at the end of his first and last pilgrimage to Makkah. Keep it, remember, the Holy Prophet ﷺ, he performed just single pilgrimage, right? Keep this thing in your mind. Why? There is basically a mystery, we can say, of Allah Almighty. He tried to prove in front of the whole world that what is basically the essence of this Hajj or pilgrimage. Reason, agar the Prophet ﷺ was there. If he wanted, he could perform Hajj in 9th Hijrah, right? Because in very first time, the Hajj was performed in 9th Hijrah, but the Prophet ﷺ asked Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, he could perform Hajj and he would lead the Muslims. He was the leader of the Muslims. See, the Prophet ﷺ, he went second time there because but that was the time when Allah Almighty had shared this idea with the Prophet that this might be possible after this year. You would not be in the world. That was that if the Prophet ﷺ, he would perform pilgrimage twice time, so might be possible we as a Muslim, as a follower, started following the farewell sermon is mentioned in almost all books of hadith. Sahih al-Bukhari refers to the sermon and quotes part of it, right? And we talk about the sermon, farewell sermon. Of course, being a Muslim, we all have mentioned it everywhere. But when we talk about Sahih al-Bukhari, it has also referred a few parts and quotes of sermon. But Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal has given the longest and perhaps the most complete version of this sermon in his Musnad. Means everyone has quoted many things regarding this sermon in the books of hadith, yani ahadith ki book mein. But the best part is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he has given the longest version, means might be possible the complete version. Yes, complete version, the most complete. The most ka matlab hai, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam led the pilgrims from Makkah through the valley of Mina and up to the mountain of Arafat. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he led all the Muslims from Makkah through Mina, and then finally he delivered the sermon into the in the valley of Urana, on the mount of Arafat. They stood in front of him silently. He sat on his camel. Prophet ﷺ, he was on his camel and he delivered the sermon with a crowd of 120,000 pilgrims. With a crowd of over 120,000, means 120,000 pilgrims were there. His voice could not reach out to all those who were present. Yes, it was very difficult. It seemed difficult when we have more than 1 lakh people, and how the one single person's voice is enough to understand, right? So what did the Prophet ﷺ he do? He therefore asked Rabah ibn Umayyah ibn Khalaf. Rabah ibn Umayyah ibn Khalaf, who was known to have a loud voice. So it was the responsibility of Hazrat Rabah ibn Umayyah ibn Khalf that he had to repeat the words, the sentences of the Prophet ﷺ after the Prophet ﷺ sentences. So he was repeating. Why? Because the people were a lot and each and everyone was unable to entertain by the voice of the Prophet ﷺ. Right? So it was his duty. Let's see. The sermon is as follows. There are many things. Important thing I would like to add, this sermon is considered the first human rights charter of the world. This sermon is considered the first human rights charter of the world. After praising and thanking Allah, the Prophet ﷺ said, first in the beginning he praised Allah that whatever he had given to him and the responsibilities, each and everything he had fulfilled, Allah Almighty he has given him out. O people, lend me an attentive ear, for I know not whether after this year I shall ever be among you. Therefore listen to what I am saying to you very carefully and take these words to those who could not be present here today. So Prophet ﷺ, he knew that there is very less chances that he would be able to see such a huge public the next time. So he said, this is the responsibility of all of those are here. They have to listen me, and then they have to pass this message to those are not here. I'm not. It means he was trying to say the message was for upcoming generation. Being a Muslim, bhul jate hain, right? Okay. So it means they were the companion of the Prophet, and the upcoming were the tabi'in. Say, oh people, just as you regard this month, this day, this city as sacred, so regard the life and property of every Muslim as a sacred trust. Very important thing, the rights of Muslim, the right of one Muslim to another Muslim. In olden time period, even before the advent of Islam, there were 4 months, those were considered the holy months, and bloodshed, wars, wrong things were strictly prohibited in those 4 months. Among those 4 months, one was Dhul Hijjah, right? So Prophet ﷺ has compared Muslim with this specific day, that as on this day in this city, bloodshed, wrong deeds, everything is strictly prohibited. Same with the Muslim, this is the right of one Muslim to another Muslim, that please do not snatch the property or do not do something wrong with the respect and life of another Muslim. Return the goods entrusted to you to their rightful owner. Return the goods mean if someone has given you something as a to him, hurt no one so that no one may hurt you. Simple. As you sow, so shall you reap, or do good, have good, right? Remember that you will indeed meet your Lord, and that he will indeed reckon. Reckon mean your deeds. Reckon mean to ask something, right? Or accountability. We as a Muslim, we know, we believe in one thing, and what is that? That is the world, next world, or we believe in the next world when we are accountable in front of Allah Almighty. Allah has forbidden you to take usually mean interest. Therefore, all interest, obligations, this is obligations, shall henceforth, this is henceforth, be waived. Your capital, however, is your to keep. The Prophet ﷺ, he announced that usury is strictly prohibited. It is not allowed, because when we talk about interest, so what happened if someone is rich, he becomes richer, and if someone is poor, he becomes poorer. That's why it is strictly prohibited. Here they have not added, but the Prophet ﷺ, after announcing these words, he said one more thing. The very first usury which I am going to announce unfair, that is of my own family. Suffer any inequity. Inequity means what does it mean? Inequity. जी, inequity mean unfair deals, unfair, right? So the Prophet ﷺ announced that no one will be suffered due to such type of thing. Allah has judged that there shall be no interest. Mean according to Islam, this was strictly prohibited for everyone. Beware of Satan for the safety of your religion. He has lost
Ma'am,
all. Mhm.
ma'am, what does this interest means? Means
सूद
only for
सूद
the
सूद सूद only for the
so.
हाँ सूद की बात कर
Okay,
रही
okay.
हूँ
Now
वो
understood.
इंटरेस्ट नहीं वो इंटरेस्ट नहीं मैं सूद की बात कर रही हूँ अच्छा जी बी वेयर
Okay.
ऑफ Satan for the safety of your religion Satan who is Satan evil powers शैतान की हम बात करें इब्लीस की that now he knows that you are Muslim your religion is very pure and you cannot be trapped by the Satan now for doing wrong deeds especially sins but he has lost all hope that he will never be able to lead you astray. Astray mean, astray mean to make some
Indulge in the
no to make someone far away from the right path. Astray. अच्छा पेज पे जहाँ glossary वहाँ इसके meaning भी होंगे in big things. So now the Satan he has been disappointed that he may move you towards wrong pathway, but be aware of the following him in small things, but he would may or he would indulge you in mistakes and keep it remember when we keep on committing mistakes basically move us towards what towards sins right so aap usko pata hai being a Muslim you cannot be caught by him so he would try to trap you through small mistakes minute mistakes से वो आपको बड़े गुनाह की तरफ लेके जाएगा हम यहाँ स्टॉप कर रहे हैं because last 1 minute or 1.5 minutes are left what I would like to